I think right now, amid Putin's vicious and unjustified invasion, it's very important that we voice out these issues about women's rights, about gender equality. And I think that we are moving in the right direction right now. And lots of EU policymakers, our Western allies, they're paying very much attention to the rights of women and to the gender equality issues. And I think that more and more attention will be paid to the role of women in peace-building environment, their role in this peace-building process in general, and more issues will be paid to the restoration of human capital in Ukraine. And this issue is actively promoted by the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska. She launched her own foundation of Olena Zelenska, where she pays attention to the rights of women and to the rights of children. And the most important thing that we don't only pay attention to the restoration of physical infrastructure, we pay attention to the restoration of this human capital, and we want our Ukrainian women and our Ukrainian children to come back to Ukraine and to get the high-quality education. And we want to make it possible for them to have an access to the qualitative medical care. And the most important thing for Olena Zelenska's foundation is this human dimension, human capital, and mental health of women and children. Because lots of women and children fled Ukraine since this invasion, and that's why we have to pay much attention to women in world politics and to their mental health. And we have to boost their rights, especially right now when we have this World Cup in Qatar, where unfortunately women are suppressed. And I think it's very right that we have such conferences, and not only on the day of the International Day of the Elimination of Violence towards Women. I think we must have these conferences, and we have to support them with real issues. And we have to voice out these problems, and we have to act out as well. And I think we're moving in the right direction, and I think that it's not about radical feminism. I think it's about women and men being equal. And it's not about women being superior to men. It's about equality, real gender equality, but it has to be sincere. Taking into account recent developments in Ukraine, I think that the world has witnessed that we are on the line when this article may be triggered. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that very soon it may be triggered by the allies, because we are on some very dangerous red line, and we will have to cross it, unfortunately, because I have a feeling that this article will be triggered, because Putin is not going to stop with Ukraine. His goal is to crush not only the Ukrainian nation, it's a genocidal war. He wants to crush NATO's resilience, and he wants to test whether this article will be implemented, will be triggered or not. I really hope that we won't enter the era of the Third World War or nuclear war, and I really hope that this article will not be triggered, that our partners will help us to win Putin right now on the battlefield with everything they can, and they will provide us all support that we need right now, especially during this looming winter, which is going to be the toughest. And Jens Stoltenberg, he has stated this. Because right now Ukraine is in total blackout, we don't have electricity, we don't have heating, and we need supplies, humanitarian supplies, not only the military ones, in order to survive this winter, which is going to be the toughest one. And again, women and children are going to suffer. And I want just to provide a short example that yesterday our mothers with children, they went to points of invincibility where they can warm up, get some basic supplies. And a small child, a girl, I don't know how old she is, maybe 8 years old, she went to this point of invincibility to recharge her inhaler because she is asthmatic. And you see, it's a very difficult and tough situation. And of course, I really hope that we won't have this moment when this Article 5 will be triggered, because it will be a catastrophe for everyone. But I'm sure if Putin crosses red lines, if he attacks 1 inch of NATO territory, I'm sure that the EU and the US will respond, and they will defend every inch of NATO territory.